Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I apologize for running a few minutes late this morning, so hopefully you're on that train with me. And if you're not, then good for you. You're on top of it. We're here. We're going to do some yin yoga together. 25 minutes. I have some water in hand. Other props include bolster and block. At minimum, please have a block on hand. It's going to be a great asset as we hold each pose. We're going to do 6 poses, about 4 minutes a piece, with the Savasana getting that extra 1 minute at the end. So we'll be focusing on the low back and our spine, our hips, because, it's a common thing to have issues with that part of your body. I personally do. It's not that I want to call it an issue because I don't want to talk down my body, but it causes me pain and discomfort. So I can't deny the issue of my low back. So let me know in chat if you experience any sensations around your hips, low back. So to be able to access them at the state that we are when we get on our mat this morning. Maybe you just rolled out of bed, maybe you had a whole day. Bring the props, be ready to check in and modify, knowing there's plenty of time for you to settle into the pose. Also, if you want to listen to the playlist along with me, feel free to grab that out of the chat or the description and have it ready to play alongside my voice for our practice. It's super meditative. I just put it together yesterday. I'm loving the playlist this March. We might do the same thing as January, make it last 2 months. So let me know if you're liking the playlist too. We'll get started in just about a minute. As we started late, we'll give people time to flow in. If you want to get your mat set up, we will be starting in child's pose. So I'm going to set my block and create a ramp with my bolster. Leaving space for me at the back of the mat. Of course, we'll get ready together here in a second. It's yoga time. It's been about a minute, so we'll go ahead and get started. By continuing on with the rest of this class, it is an acceptance of labor of liability. Take care of yourself, and let's get yoga in. We're going to start child's pose. So if you want to listen to the playlist with me, go ahead and hit play now. Begin your child's pose. I'm going to bring my knees a little closer, trying to target my spine rather than my hips, but it is at your discretion. Got the bolster slightly between my knees. And you just fold over onto it. Arms on the mat. If it doesn't feel good for your nose to be face down, option to turn one cheek, and I'll tell you halfway when to switch the other cheek. Close your eyes. Settle. Begin to notice how your body is responding to child's pose. Is there temperature change, sensation? What are the qualities of your experience? If pain is one of them, Make some adjustments, maybe lifting a little higher, changing the width of the knees. About halfway, if you have your cheek down, switch to the opposite cheek. Begin to breathe deeper, feeling the belly between your thighs. And belly deflates in towards the body. Belly fills, spine expands. Slow, smooth exhale. And slowly lift up. Set your block to the side. Bring your bolster horizontal out in front of you, leaving some space at the top of the mat. Begin to move the hips forward and lower them down just behind the bolster. Arms in front for Sphinx pose. Just round at the spine. So now we're doing the counter, the ebb and the flow. We'll be here about 4 minutes. So if you're already feeling this is a bit too much, feel free to walk the hips back, the arms a little more forward. And then return focus to the breath. My ebb, my flow. Change is part of me. About halfway. Option if you'd like a little bit more back bend to bring the bolster slightly forward and lift elbows up onto it. Continue to lengthen rather than just curl backwards. Long up and forward. Shoulders are down. A few more breaths here. And slowly lower down, setting your bolster to the side for a front Savasana. Feel the spine in one line. And then press up. Grab your bolster block. Bring them in front of you. I'm going to set mine horizontal once more. And then block medium setting on the bolster. Stand up. Feet are about hip width apart. Forward fold, also known as dangling pose. Soft to big bend in the knees. You can have your hands on the block for support. Or I like to bring my forearms down. We'll be here about 4 minutes. So if you are feeling wrenching in your spine and your legs, bring yourself up a little higher. You can always lift the block to an even higher setting. Wherever you are, breathe. About halfway through. Option 2, adjust, maybe lower the block, the setting. Gently lift up about halfway. Widen the feet to the edges of the mat or even wider, toes out, heels in. Bring your block just behind the heels on the tallest setting, center of your feet. And squat, taking a seat onto the block, lifting gaze forward. For me, I have to bring my arms down to give a little gentle pressure to the inside of my thighs. If you prefer hands to heart, elbows, and that works for your anatomy, cool. Just make sure your heels are on the earth. If the heels are lifted up, you probably just need to widen out your stance. But once you find your place, elongate your spine and breathe. Yin is not just about the physical pose, the stretching. It's building the mental fortitude when the pose becomes difficult to remain still in. Yoga is noticing when you want to go out of the pose and seeking to understand why. While it asks hard questions, it gives tools to succeed. When you want to leave, just take a breath in, say, I ebb, I flow. Change is part of me, but my focus is constant. Over halfway. About 30 more seconds. I know it's hard. You can do it. When you're ready to come out, bring your hands forward, lift the hips straight to the sky. Toe heel the feet in under the body. Tailbone first, roll one vertebra at a time. Head hangs heavy and last. Shoulders roll back, spine is long. Gently release, mountain pose. Set your props to the side of your mat and you'll make your way to your back. Feel free to grab some water. And once you're on your back, bend the knees in. Option to take bridge pose with your bolster or block, depending on what you have available. I'm going to use my block. Lift my hips up and bring the block onto my sacrum, the space above my tailbone. Arms by the sides. Option to stay here or maybe extend legs out to full bridge. Maybe arms by the sides, or they can come overhead. About 45 more seconds here. I ebb, I flow. Change is part of me. My focus is constant. To make your way out, go piece by piece. First, arms. If you extended the legs, rebend the knees in. And then lift up hips. Remove your prop. Moving towards Savasana. If you have a bolster on hand, feel free to put it under your knees. Or simply take it just you on the earth. Let your fingertips curl in towards your palms. Eyes are closed. Allow my voice to call you back. If you need more time, please take it. If you're ready to close out with me, wiggle fingers, toes, roll wrists, ankles. Reach arms overhead, full body stretch, point the toes. And then roll over to one side or the other. Make your way up to a final seat. We will close out together. Before our closing breath, I'd like to take one vibration of Om. Exhale everything. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to heart center. In gratitude, I thank you for being here. Know that you can change. That you can be resilient and constant in the change as well. You have the mental skills and awareness to be the master of your world. Go be a master. Namaste. Yay. Yin. I love it so much. So simple, but so powerful. You really get to see a lot of yourself when you're put into maybe an uncomfortable pose for an extended period of time. So let me know what you learned about yourself, what you're learning, what you're focusing on. Love to be a part of your yoga journey. We'll be back on Thursday with some flow yoga, so moving and grooving a bit more. Again, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there. Let me know if you want something specifically in the practice. That's it. Have a beautiful day. Maybe it's snowing where you're at, or spring is bursting out. Enjoy whatever life has to offer around you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you next time.